Day one of NFL free agency rolls on. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. My name is Chase Sr., and as always, thank you so much for supporting the show. And no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. What I want to talk about here over the next several minutes, the Eagles are losing two marquee players who helped them win their second Lombardi Trophy in franchise history. First, let's discuss Milton Williams signing with the New England Patriots. He is signing a massive, massive contract. And then we'll talk about Isaiah Rodgers inking a deal with the Minnesota Vikings. First, on the Milton Williams front, I had said here time and time again here on the program that he was going to get paid. And I had predicted that Milton Williams was going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of $20+ million per year. But teams have really started to value pass rushing defensive tackles and getting an interior pass rush on quarterbacks. And the New England Patriots have some of the most cap space in the NFL, and they're looking at Milton Williams as a player who's only 26 years old, who's 6'3", 290 pounds, has been highly productive while playing 50% or less of his snaps since getting drafted in the third round out of Louisiana Tech, and they think that Milton Williams can continue to improve and become a dominant force in this league. Because when Milton Williams has been on the field, he has turned into a force. And his season in 2024 was very, very strong. And so that's why New England is giving him $26 million per year in average annual value. And this is what happens when you win a Super Bowl. When you win a Super Bowl, some of your homegrown players are going to hit the free agency market and they are going to get paid top dollar. Sometimes they will see their homegrown players get overpaid. And I'm not saying that Milton Williams is getting overpaid. What I am saying is that he is getting paid a number that Philadelphia simply could not afford. But you look at Milton Williams' growth as a player, right? Year one, 30 tackles, 6 TFLs, 2 sacks, 6 quarterback hits. You saw some of that explosion, quickness, and interior pass rushing skill as a young player. The next year, he plays 17 games again. He has 4 sacks and 6 quarterback hits. Year 3, the sack numbers go down to a half sack, 7 quarterback hits, but analytically a very sound player. And then in a contract year, he puts together a very good season while being a rotational player. He has 24 tackles, 7 TFLs, 5 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, 1 forced fumble, but was an absolute force against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, where he was all over Patrick Mahomes, and analytically, he was once again a very sound player. And so now, he's going to get paid a lot of money by New England. But with an increase in salary, I think what will come, obviously, is an increase in snaps, which will then lead to an increase in production. And Milton Williams was the second highest pass rusher as far as pass rush grade among all defensive tackles in the NFL last year with the grade of 90.4. And what was so notable was what he did with his sample size. 302 pass rushing snaps, yet he had 28 hurries, 20th among defensive tackles. He had 40 total pressures, 19th among defensive tackles. And so, congratulations to Milton Williams. He is getting life-changing money, and with the season that he had, with the playoff run that he had, capped off with that Super Bowl performance, there was no way that the Eagles were going to be able to bring him back. Now, we're going to talk about Isaiah Rodgers coming up, right? And the Eagles losing Milton Williams. It's going to be a loss. But Jordan Davis, he's now saying, I'm working on my abs. I almost have six-pack abs. 6'6", 340, freak athlete. He's going to get more snaps. Moro Ajomo, a blossoming young player, is going to get more snaps. And so Howie Roseman's thinking here is replenishing the cupboard, replacing players who get paid with some of your own homegrown developmental pieces. And so Moro Ajomo and Jordan Davis are going to be asked to do more. They're going to be asked to play more. And you have to have confidence that Vic Fangio is going to be able to find a way to make it work. And it's all going to come in a cost-controlled way. And this is very interesting. Pass rush win rate last year, Milton Williams, 17.6% on 418 pass rush snaps. Moro Ajomo, 18.2% on 342 pass rush snaps. He's still a really young player by way of Texas as a late-round pick by Howie Roseman. And Ajomo's 18.2% pass rush win rate was the best on the Eagles' defensive line. Now, that could go up, that could go down with more pass rushes and more snaps there. But that is what Howie Roseman is thinking. You let Milton Williams go, and we're paying Moro Ajomo a fraction of the price. And let me look at what his cap hit and his base salary is going to be as he now enters a big season for himself. While Milton Williams is going to be paid $26 million per in 2025, Moro Ajomo has a base salary of $1 million, a cap hit of just over $1 million, and he's under contract for 2026 as well. So what is your one-word reaction to this signing? For me, it's bag, because Milton Williams here gets a bag, and he gets a contract that the Eagles were never going to pay. By the way, Eagles Super Bowl merchandise is available thanks to our friends at Fanatics. You can get yours today by going to chatsports.com/EaglesSB. Shirts, hats, sweatshirts, jerseys, all types of different merchandise available that you can put in your man cave. We'll put that link down below in the show notes and attached to the pinned comment of today's Philadelphia Eagles. Now, one more time, it's chatsports.com/EaglesSB. Now, I don't blame Howie Roseman for not paying Milton Williams. But with this Isaiah Rodgers contract, I had said I'd probably give him $5 or $6 million per season. He gets just more than that to go to the Minnesota Vikings. Rodgers to Minneapolis on a 2-year, $15 million deal, $8 million guaranteed. So pretty much a 1-year deal, $8 million guaranteed. I would have paid that if I was Howie. And Isaiah Rodgers, a pretty good story, right? He comes off that gambling suspension, and anytime he was thrust into action, anytime he was asked to play significant snaps, he played very well at outside corner. And so now he's going to go to Minnesota. I love this for him for his career because he gets to play under one of the finest defensive minds in the NFL, in Brian Flores, who I think is going to be able to put him in a position to succeed. But now for the Eagles, they need cornerback depth. Quinyon Mitchell has all-pro potential. We saw that as a rookie. Cooper DeJean has all-pro potential in the slot. When the Eagles did take him in the second round, though, they thought that he had outside ability. Cooper DeJean did play outside primarily, even though he was very versatile, at Iowa. And so he does have ability to play there, but I would keep Cooper DeJean in the slot because it allows you to use him in a variety of ways. As a blitzer, as an off-ball linebacker. I think he's best in that Swiss Army knife type of role. Now, he did earn a 9.85 on his relative athletic score grade, and so he's a really good athlete. Ran a 4.4, had a vertical leap of 38.5 inches. He's a freak athlete. But as far as some of the outside corner stuff, sometimes he got a little bit handsy at Iowa, and we'll see what Vic Fangio thinks, because I trust, obviously, his evaluation eye. But what this signals to me, with Rodgers leaving, and we'll see if Darius Slay ends up leaving as well, Howie Roseman is very confident in Kelee Ringo and Eli Ricks. And Kelee Ringo has all of the traits that you look for in a corner. Size, speed, physicality. When he's played minimal snaps, he's played pretty well. Kelee Ringo is extremely long. I thought he played pretty well as a rookie before barely playing at all in 2024. But that's what that tells me. And this is what good organizations do. And this is the importance of drafting well. Because now that the salary cap is going up, some of these contracts in free agency are stupid. You're seeing B-level players get A money. But how do you continue to stay a sustainable winner in the NFL? Some of the players that you draft and develop who perform well for you, let them leave in free agency, and then you replace them with a Moro Ajomo and a Jordan Davis. You replace them with a Kelee Ringo and Rex, right? And so those players, as compared to the players that you were leaving, are just a fraction of the price. And that is a smart team building strategy. Of course, now it relies on those players actually working out and performing well. But either way, look for the Eagles to target defensive linemen and cornerbacks in the draft. And that's how Howie Roseman builds his teams, and that's what I expect him to do. So now, the Eagles have not made a move yet externally in free agency. Who should the Eagles sign? Drop me a name or names down below in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for supporting the program and watching us here on Eagles Now.